Meditation advocate Sharon Salzberg once said, "The difference between misery and happiness is what we do with our attention." My name is Robert Reed, and I'm a full-time online student at Lewis University, and that means that my job is studying online and going to school online. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks and demonstrate how you can use those to benefit yourself in a multi-collaborative online environment, be that at your home or in the office. Primarily, there are three key things that get in our way of being as productive as we would like to be in an online environment, and those distractions are audio, spatial, and physiological. So without further ado, let's go into the audio barriers. The first audio barrier that most people come up against is that there's just too much noise in the environment. And so there are three key ways we can take care of this. The first one, and most obvious, is to try and turn down the noise, stop people from yelling and running, maybe work in a place that's outside of a large factory. These seem like fairly obvious suggestions, but they're not always practicable. People have busy lives, and you may not be working from home the way that I am. So the second thing you can do, if allowed, and more practically, is to get a set of headphones, particularly noise-canceling headsets. This will help remove some of the ambient noise so that you can actually think and you can give yourself the ability to hear what you're thinking out loud. The third thing that could be solution to audio problems in your work environment is to try and take a page out of sleep therapy for the past couple of years. Get a fan, get a YouTube video that you like listening to and put it on loop. Try and get a small pet water fountain and then put that in your office or working environment if possible. If you have these white noise generators, they allow you to fill out the fluff of other noise that you're not trying to pay attention to, so you can focus on concentrating your resources and focus on the tasks at hand. Having talked about audio cues, let's get into some spatial ones. Now, spatial components of distractions come in two flavors. The first one I want to term office space, and the second one personal tidying. Office space is the concept that best works at home or an environment that's not a traditional work environment, which you often run into if you're working in this online capacity. Notice that I'm in a separate room. I'm wearing nice clean clothes, and I have kind of set myself up in a designated space in my house where I can consistently do work. My wife and the other people in the house know that if I'm in this environment that I'm going to be attempting to be productive in doing work, and then sometimes I dress up to help myself get into the mode of focus. This allows a clear separation between your normal play activities and your serious working activities, which can be a helpful separation if you're struggling with integrating that aspect of working from home. If you're working in an office environment that happens to be multi-collaborative or online, you may not have the luxury of doing this and being in a separated space of your own choosing, so you can take advantage of something that I introduced earlier called personal tidying. Probably shouldn't have food and bowls or things like that at your desk. You may want to consider removing trash that's in the area, but personal tidying isn't just removing what's not supposed to be there, it's also putting items that should be there in your office to help build that concept of office space. Note right here, we have a copy of the text that we use for this very course right here. By keeping this nearby, I'm capable of taking notes from it and contributing to that office space mentality. And by removing trash in the area, I'm capable of removing that distraction or tax on my focus. Having talked about audio and spatial components, let's get into the third one, physiological. So physiological components come in three big sources. The first is sleep, the second is food, and the third one are items that affect your biology. If you don't get enough sleep, mostly by setting a designated time when you will go to sleep and when you will wake up every day, you're not giving your body a chance to regulate how much energy it will have, and that leaves you in a poor mood or environment to determine exactly what you can do with the energy that you do have available. Same thing with food. If you get food in a reliable portion of the day, every day, to a decent amount and quality that you're accustomed to, you may find it easier to get the work done that you need to do. The third thing is that you can regulate your consumption of various fluids and devices that offset or adjust the biological components of your body. So try and stay away from alcohol, as it lowers your decision making, or energy drinks, as it may give you a false sense of confidence and a false boost of energy that you can't really keep up with. So we've talked about these three primary considerations in an online environment. We've talked about audio, spatial, and physiological concerns. And having taken all of this into account in your online environment, I think you may find exactly what we went back to at the beginning with Sharon Salzberg's quote, and its implication that if you're capable of managing the things that you give to your attention, you may well be capable of navigating your environment more successfully and avoiding misery.